Hello YouTube. I'm trying to change up the ambiance of where I film my videos. I put my salt lamp out and some flowers that you can kind of see. It says my camera's dying. I'm gonna just pretend like that's a lie and we'll see how long this lasts. Again, gonna be kind of raw, uncut, just kind of chatting with you about how things have been going. I'm gonna occasionally look over here at my timer just to try and keep around my 10 minutes. So this video, essentially, I wanted to talk about grieving process, how it's okay to not be okay, kind of just about the whole change in my life and the change that other people go through. Change is really hard, and we're such ritualistic, like routinal humans that like when change happens, we experience a lot of fear and uncomfortable emotions and feelings, and yeah, it really depends on the person. I find that my whole family has been experiencing the pain and grief differently, and for me, I actually had a really long time to even process what had happened because essentially from when it started, February 16th at work, I had a seizure-like episode, which was just a really bad tremor episode. From that day till now, I've been extremely heavily medicated on things that relax your brain and your body. So I feel like out of everyone, it has taken me the longest to really process what has happened. And there's been like a few times, like 2 or 3 times where I'm like, wow, like my life has changed so much, and it can be a lot. And so I just like wanted to come out and say and be honest, like it's okay to not be okay. And that was something that I've like struggled so much kind of in the past. Like I've done lots of counseling, I have a lot of anxiety and other things that I have dealt with in my life. And so from a young age, I've seen a lot of counselors. And so something that I didn't even realize was that I'm so used to having like an emotional support person. So I'll choose one person and only that person will see my emotions. And for a long time, it was counselors. And then as I would get into relationships, I would feel really safe with boyfriends. So then I would kind of save all of my emotions for a boyfriend and kind of just emotionally dump on them all the time. And so I find that that's actually been what has been happening in my current relationship. So when I moved home, I just wasn't processing for medication wise, but also because I didn't have my support person all the time, which is super unhealthy, by the way. You definitely should have a lot of support and different people to help you process emotions, as well as process emotions on your own. Like I have a hard time with my own emotions and how to process them. Yeah, so that was something that I wanted to kind of touch on, but I would just like to say that as my experience, there has just been so many tests and so many hospital visits and this and that and so much going on since like the day that it's begun that like I've had little time to process. Now things have slowed down, so I feel like I'm processing a little bit more and things are starting to settle in. The less medication that I take, the less sedated I am to actually realize what's going on. Like I was bedridden for a really long time. I'm doing physio now, so I'm up and about, kind of moving around, trying to test my ability. I'm out of my wheelchair, experimenting with a cane. I can't go far, and unfortunately, I was doing so well, so about a week, but today I had a really bad tremor attack actually in public, and it lasted for about half an hour, so Josiah had to actually carry me to the car and out of the car into my house, because once it happens, I just lose full control of my body. Like I can't talk, I can't move my muscles or anything. It's crazy. And so grief has been a huge part of my process, and I can't speak like a whole lot on grief. I know for the longest time I thought grief was for when you essentially lost someone that had passed away, and I learned kind of when I was in college that you can also grieve like loss, like friends, like friendships, not people that just died, but like friendships, relationships, like things that you wanted but didn't work out. And so right now I'm definitely going through a grieving process of my old life, because essentially I am physically disabled, and I have been now for about a month and a half, and there's no answers as to how permanent that will be. And not only am I grieving this, but my whole family is, and as well as my boyfriend. I mean, we're huge fans of snowboarding, and for the last, again, like I missed the whole end of the season because I've been sick and in bed, and I can't walk very well, so I definitely can't snowboard. And so we've missed out on a lot of stuff together. I like to rock climb and hike, and so kind of just, it's hard in a lot of aspects for people that you share life with, that you know you can no longer be that person that you used to be. And I mean, maybe I will recover. Nobody knows. I don't know. I've done so many tests, and at this point, like, it's guesses. I know that I will be sent to Vancouver to do a tremor test to see what kind of tremors I'm having, but again, there's just a lot of no answers. Yeah, so like I was saying, like, it was really hard for me to see how it affects my family and my loved ones, and my friends too. You know, they experience stress and grief in their own way as well. And so everybody has been stressed. And for me, I kind of wasn't processing. Sorry. I wasn't processing. Oh my God. Some words make me verbally tick. You know the word I'm trying to say, I'm not going to say it again. Some people, okay, I'm going to have to say it. Some people process things differently, and that was hard for me. I didn't even realize that it was going to be hard for other people because I've never have gone through this. And so finally coming to like the realization that like, I don't know when I'll be able to walk around the block. I don't know when I'll be able to ride my bike. Like, I love to slackline and rock climb and hike and do, I love exercising and yoga. And like this year I had this huge like goal of like doing some really awesome arm balance yoga and getting really strong. And like I started working out a lot, and I think that I've gone through denial because there was a time where I would push myself really, really hard and try to push myself past my limits, and I am starting to try and not do that. And with the help of other people, I'll have like ideas, and then people will be like, I don't think you're ready for that. And I'll be like, but no, I am though. Like, it's fine. Like, I'm fine. But yeah, I think I'm coming closer to the, is it admittance? Like, I'm starting to realize that there's something wrong. I am physically disabled. And it's really hard. It's sad. I have a lot of sad days, especially now that I'm changing medications, so I find that my altering of state has been different. I'm taking a medication called clonazepam, and it's kind of like Ativan, where your brain starts to rely on it. So like, I find if I'm like half an hour late or an hour late, I have like a full panic attack. Like my brain, I haven't felt anxiety for like the last 2 months, and I'm usually very anxious. So it's been really weird to have absolutely like no anxiety, and then now have to wean off this medication and feel anxiety again. So that's going to be really challenging for me. And trying to find a new medication without having a test done. Like I said, up north, I mean, Vancouver's lower mainland in BC, so I'm not really sure what their wait lists are like for health. But yeah, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so we will be reviewing, and I can't remember if I released this. My memory is terrible, but I don't have Wilson's disease. I did talk about that it might be that, but I don't have it. We got the test results back, so now we're kind of on to the next thing, which I actually don't know. I actually don't know the next guess. I think the next thing is just trying to treat the tremors so that I can live a normal life and go back to work. I'm applying for disability so that I can get some income. I'm going to physio once a week to gain, again, walking strength and strength, just so that if I ever do get control over my tremors, I'll be able to go back to life normally. I mean, who knows? I think that's the hardest thing, is like the uncertainty. And I'm trying very hard to practice all those really good things that we need, like counseling, and I have a CBT app, meditation, self-care. I never ever get my hair done, or I got my nails done. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't do stuff like that normally. I'm out of focus now because I showed you my hands. I don't usually do stuff like that because I usually do labor work, so I usually like to be very low maintenance just so that I'm like ready to go. But I have found that like connecting with friends, getting beauty things done, because it makes me feel like I look good, feel good kind of idea. I booked a massage because I'm having pain from doing physio. Hanging out with friends, going to church has been really amazing for me too, and I don't really talk too much about spirituality on this channel, and I don't know if I will. We'll see. I haven't been going to church for too long, but I go to the Pentecostal church here in Terrace, and I will say that when people pray for you and bless you, and even just strangers who really like care about you, and I believe in God and all of that good stuff. And so prayer has really helped me, thinking about how there's a plan and a purpose, and trying to find positivity, and just praying for myself and others has really helped me. But I think the whole message in this video is that I really want to normalize, but it's okay to not be okay, because there were so many days that I was like, I just need to get through. I gotta be okay, because I don't want to show that this is hard for me, because I don't want anybody else to be upset. But it's okay for everybody to not be okay in the situation. Like, everybody right now in my life is struggling so much watching me go through this, and like that is hard for me. And I think, well, it's kind of selfish of me to be like, you can't have emotions about what's going on in my life. And so yeah, I think I hope good things are coming. I pray good things are coming, and I'll keep updating you guys. I actually am really excited for our next video. This is exciting. I'll give you a little sneak peek. We're heading up to our ski hill in our 80s RV, so I get to make an RV video, and we're gonna camp overnight. It's gonna be really cold. I can't even ski, but on the last day they do fun events, something called a slush cup. I'm gonna take a video of it. They have sledding, a little bunny hill. I might try and throw a ski on, but I have a lot of hard time walking, so we'll even see if it's possible. But yeah, trying to plan positive things. I'll be filming all about it, and I just really appreciate the people that watch and listen to the story, because it really does help me to process my own emotions when I do share. And yeah, with further ado, if you like the video, if you give it a thumbs up, it actually helps me a lot. And if you want to see more, I get this channel is willy-nilly now, because it's like half health, half I kind of live in an R&B, kind of not, but like it's in there. There's a lot hopefully this summer there'll be more exciting RV stuff happening. Thank you so much for watching, guys. So much love. Bye. Good morning. I apologize for the quality of this portion of the video, but I did want to add, it sounds very poetic to me. I'm reading a book right now that has so many good things in it. The book is called The Calm Workbook, and I definitely recommend it to anybody who is struggling with mental health. It talks about a few things, and then you have like journaling portions, which I really enjoy so that I can reflect. But there's a part in this that I wanted to read. Hopefully I don't get copyrighted because that would suck. But I'm going to read it to you. And yeah, I just thought it was really interesting because I haven't really read or have heard of anything like this before. So I'm going to try my best to read. Sometimes I do verbal tremor when I read, so we'll see how this goes. I also just woke up, so I'm in my pajamas and looking fresh. So it says, melancholy is not rage or bitterness. It is a valuable species of sadness that arises when we are open to the fact that life is inherently difficult for everyone, that suffering and disappointment are at the heart of human experience. It is not a disorder that needs to be cured. It is a tender-heartedness, calm, dispassionate acknowledgement of how much pain we must inevitably all travel through. Modern society tends to emphasize buoyancy and cheerfulness. It is impatient with melancholy states and wishes either to medicalize them and therefore solve them, or deny their legitimacy altogether. Melancholy links pain and wisdom and beauty. It springs from a rightful awareness of the tragic structure of every life. We can, in melancholy states, understand without theory or sentimentality that no one truly understands anyone else, that loneliness is universal, and that every life has its full measures of shame and sorrow. The melancholic knows that many of the things we most want are in tragic conflict: to feel secure and yet be free, to have money yet not have to be beholden to others, to be close-knit communities and yet not to be stifled by the expectations and demands of society, to travel and explore the world and yet to put down deep roots, to fulfill the demands of our appetite for food, exploration, and sloth, and yet stay thin, sober, faithful, and fit. The wisdom of the melancholy attitude, as opposed to the bitter or angry one, lies in understanding that we have not been singled out, that our suffering belongs to humanity in general. Melancholy is marked by an impersonal take on suffering. It is filled with pity for the human condition. The more melancholy a culture can be, the less its individual members need to be persecuted by their own failures, loss, illusions, and regrets.